Hello everyone, my name is Sonutej. My roll number is 19EC01004. Today we will be discussing about the fourth experiment in the Signals and Systems lab. This is based on convolution. Now we have to create a MATLAB function to perform linear convolution of the input discrete time sequence and impulse response of the LTI discrete system. We are given with four input-output relationships of LTI discrete systems. So we have to find the impulse responses of each of these systems. To find the impulse response, we have to replace x of n, means the input, with delta of n. For the first system, the impulse response will be h of n is equal to 1 by 3 of delta of n plus delta of n minus 1 plus delta of n minus 2. And for the second system, it will be h of n is equal to 1 by m sigma k is equal to 0 to m minus 1 delta of n minus k. In the question, it is given to take three values of m. They are 25, 50 and 100. And for the third system, the impulse response will be h of n is equal to delta of n minus delta of n minus 1. And for the fourth system, it will be half of delta of n minus delta of n minus 2. And now we have to find the performance of these above systems with the given signals. We have four signals. Now coming to the code, we will write the function for convolution. We will take two inputs for this. One is the input signal and the other one is the impulse response. Let us consider L1 as the length of input signal and L2 as the length of impulse response. We are zero padding them to avoid any delay in the signal. And from the definition of convolution, we are writing this for loop. And this is the function for convolve. We can use this in any other blocks. We are given with four different PPG signals. Let us load those signals and plot them to see how they look like. We have written the code and now let's run this section of code. These are the four different signals: baseline PPG signal, clean PPG signal, PPG signal with Gaussian noise of 20 decibels and with 25 decibels. You can see that only the baseline PPG signal has a trend, and we will see how to remove the trend shortly. Now these are the impulse responses of the four systems we have, and we have also plotted them. This is the impulse response for system 1, and these three are the impulse responses when m is 25, m is 50 and m is 100. This is for system 3 and this is for system 4. Now we will take each signal at a time and then we will run it across all the systems and see the performance of each system. Now we are loading the first signal, baseline PPG signal, and then we are defining all the impulse responses of the systems. Now we are using the convolve function which we have written earlier, and then we are convolving all the systems with input signal baseline PPG, and we are plotting them. We are using the plot function, so we'll get the continuous figures. Let us run this code. This is the input signal, this is the baseline PPG signal, and this is the impulse response of the fourth system, and this is the convoluted signal, and this is the convolution of input signal in system 3, and this is for system 2 when m is 100, and this is the convoluted signal, and this is for m is equal to 50, and this is the impulse response of system 2 when m is equal to 25, and this is the convoluted signal, and this is the input signal. This is the impulse response of the first system, and this is the impulse response of the first system, and this is the convoluted signal. Now in the same way we will do for the second and third and fourth signals. Now we will load the clean PPG signal, and then we will write all the impulse responses of the systems, and we will use the function convolve to convolve the input signal with the impulse responses of these systems. Now we will run this code. And the same way, this input signal clean PVG doesn't have a trend, as we have seen earlier. And this is the impulse response, and this is the output convoluted signal with system 4. This is with system 3, and this one is for m is equal to 100 system 2, and this is for m is equal to 50, and this is for m is equal to 25, and this one is for system 1. This is the impulse response of the system 1, and this is the convoluted signal. Now coming to the third signal, in the same we are following the same process. We are writing the impulse responses and then we are convoluting. Let us run this code. We have got the convoluted signal for the system 4, and this is for system 3, and this is for these three are for system 2 for m is equal to 100, m is equal to 50, and this is one is for m is equal to 25, and this is the convoluted signal for input signal and the system 1. Now coming to the fourth signal, we are loading the signal and writing the impulse responses of the systems, and then we are using the convol function to convol the input signal and the impulse responses of these four systems. We have written the plot function. Now running this code, we will get 6 figures, and this one is for the fourth system, and this is the convoluted signal for by taking input as the input signal and the impulse response of the system 3. These three are for system 2 when m is equal to 25, m is equal to 50, and this one is for m is equal to 100. And this figure is for system 1. This is the impulse response of the system 1, and this is the output we get when we convolve the input signal and the impulse response of this signal. As we have seen earlier, we have observed a trend in the baseline PVG signal. Now let us try to remove this trend from the signal. Let us load the baseline PVG signal, and we are asking for an input m, which is the value of m used in the system 2. Now we are defining the impulse response of the system, and when we are convolving the input signal, which is the baseline PVG signal, and the impulse response are defined here. Now the convoluted signal, the length of the convoluted signal and the original baseline PVG signal may not be same, so we have to zero pad it. So we are finding the length of the convoluted signal, which is L, and now by using this for loop we are zero padding the original baseline PVG signal. So if we remove the convoluted signal from the baseline PVG signal, we will get the trend removed signal. Let us see the plots. It is asking for a value of m. Let us give it as 200, and the red color line is the trend signal, and this is the input signal. And after trend removal, it looks like this. And in the D part, we are asked to describe each of these systems. We can say all of these systems are FIR systems, and system 1 and 2 are low pass filters, and because they are only allowing the low frequency parts and attenuating the high frequency parts, and they are also the moving average systems. Systems 3 and 4 are high pass filters because they are attenuating the low frequency parts, and they are also different systems. In the F part, we are asked to mention the properties of the above discrete systems. We can say that all the above systems are LTI systems, linear time invariant systems. There are also causal systems. They depend on the past inputs and also the present inputs, but they do not depend upon the future inputs. They are dynamic systems, means they are memory systems because they depend upon the past inputs. They are also stable systems. For a bounded input, they only give the bounded output, so they are all stable. Hence, we can conclude that we have learned how to use convolution in MATLAB, and we have removed a trend from the baseline PPG signal, and we have learned the properties of these signals. Thank you.